Sandy Summers, a multi-award-winning singer-songwriter from Cessnock in New South Wales, is a sincere, sassy and very dynamic performer with a spirited heart who found her rhythm while making waves across the Australian country music landscape as she effortlessly blends country, rock and heartfelt storytelling with rich, expressive vocals. Sandy is an Australian Music Examinations Board accredited performer who was named Best Female Vocalist in the 2026 ACMI People's Choice Awards, Best New Australian Independent Female Country Artist at the 2025 ICMA Awards as well, and she was presented with a 2026 Dusty Boots Award in recognition of her contribution to Australian country music. Now, Sandy is a regular on the AMRAP Community Radio regional chart, having spent 4 weeks in the top 20 with Too Many Sunsets, great song, and breaking into the top 10 with Run Today, another great song, along with her striking rendition of Juice Newton's 1981 hit song Angel of the Morning. A great song, and she really does it credit. Absolutely fantastic. Her latest single release, the incredible song I played a minute ago, entitled Like a 70s Day, will certainly be another resounding success for her and further cement her position as a rapidly rising star in the Australian country music arena, who is well on her way to the upper echelons of that field of dreams. Sandy, to a great credit, is a passionate supporter of community radio and her fellow artists, and she readily champions the contributions that followers, presenters and radio volunteers afford her, valuing them as the engines of independent music. She continues to hone her songwriting craft, including co-writing with 10 times Golden Guitar Award winner Lynn Botel at her SHE songwriting retreats and through meetings with other writers. Now, I've spoken on the phone with Sandy a couple of times before, and I'm genuinely delighted to once again have this amazing songstress standing by on the phone, waiting to have a chat with me. So let's bring her on air without any further ado. Hello, Sandy. How's it going?
Hey, g'day, Harry T. I'm really, really well, and I'm smiling my face off right now. Thanks for that wonderful introduction, and I need to say hello to all the Country Club listeners.
Oh, I'm sure they're all saying hello back. Hello.
Thank you.
I mentioned off air that this is, I think, the third time that I've interviewed you this year, which sets a bit of a record, actually. I can't remember any other artist being interviewed on this show 3 times in the same year. Twice maybe, but not 3 times. So that's quite a good record, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. But I have to tell you, if this keeps up, I've got to start charging you membership fees.
I might have to get in line to be paying too, by the sounds of it. It is quite the privilege to be welcomed on the show, and I really, really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. Thank you so much for your help with my music, and obviously it's because the wheels are turning pretty fast with my music that we're catching up more frequently.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing from my point of view anyway.
That's right, yeah.
So,
it certainly does make me happy.
Oh, it makes me happy. Oh, absolutely. It's just great talking to you on the phone, Sandy, and I'm not just saying that just to say it, because there are people I've interviewed, and it's like pulling teeth, you know what I mean?
Right.
But with you, I just give you the reins and away you go, and it just absolutely makes my job so much easier. I love it.
Right, thanks so much. I really do value the connections that I have with radio presenters. I just think this is a real fun part of getting my music out there, is getting to know the presenters, and you guys are all volunteers that give you time, and you're really a special part of this whole country music, in fact, independent music industry, because without you guys, our music wouldn't get out there, so that's why you're so valued. Thank you.
And if we didn't have the music, we wouldn't have anything to put out there. But
that's right. We scratch each other's back.
Yeah, very symbiotic relationship, and I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
But and I have to mention, as I said in the intro, it's to your credit that you are such a great supporter community radio and your fellow artists, you know, and people that you come in contact with, and that is a bit of a rarity, and it shouldn't be, but it is. You know, so I think that's worthy of mention, in my humble opinion. You know, the fact that you are very complimentary to us, whether we deserve it or not.
Oh, thanks. Well, I find it easy because that's just what music does. I just presume it does it for everyone else. Like, it's just like being in a common family, having this wonderful, you know, music that we have. Life would be so different without it. So just embracing it fulfills me. It's definitely a passion of mine, and I understand it works that way for you guys too.
Absolutely, especially when we got, you know, especially in this country, we've got some wonderful people in the country music field, and you know, you're an absolute example of that. In my opinion, you're just such a really great artist. You know, you're putting out really good product, and you still remain humble, you know, and accessible and all that sort of stuff. So. Again, that's to your credit, I think.
Yeah, thanks. So just whenever I've got a heartbeat and a love for music, I'll keep writing it and putting it out there.
And as long as I've got a heartbeat, I'll keep playing it.
Thanks, Harry T.
There you go. All right, now let's get down to it. Tell us the story behind Like a 70... before I do, I just earlier, just a few minutes ago, I played this song. You might be interested in it, you might not. But anyway, this lady called Mae Estes from Nashville. She's got a song out called "The 90s" called, and it's got this really gorgeous line in it, in the chorus line. "The 90s called, and they want their country back."
Well, I love it already. I'll have to have a listen to that one.
It's a great song. It really is.
That is very clever lyric.
It is. That songwriting, you know, I mean, much the same as your songwriting. It's clever. You know what I mean? It's take a simple concept and make something good out of it. You know, it's just really, really well done.
Yeah, seems like it. I must have a listen.
I recommend it. It's a good song, you know. It bumps along quite nicely, and it's a pleasure to play it, much like your stuff.
Well, if you love it, I know I will. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I don't play stuff I don't like, and that's why I like playing Sandy Summers stuff. So it's good.
So.
All right. Now let's talk about Like a 70s Day. Which is a title that, you know, that's why I mentioned Mae Estes, because it's a similar sort of title. You know, it's got that, you know, that's 90s and 70s is a great, 70s was a great decade, I think, you know.
Absolutely. Lots of sunshine and good times back then that I remember, and the innocence of being a child. But if you want to go into it, I can certainly explain where all this thought for the song came from.
Absolutely, please do.
Yeah. So it's really weird. My songs come to me in so many different ways, but I actually wrote this song 10 years ago. And what inspired it was the feel of a song that had been out for a good 6 years, and I just had it in my playlist, and it came up one day in my playlist, and I just thought, I really love the feel from this song. And it was Wes Carr's song. It was called Feels Like Wallow. It was actually used for the NRL, I think, to promote the NRL back in 2009.
Right.
And I just thought, wow, how do I feel when I hear this song? And I thought, you know, I feel really useful. I feel really young. It's a positive song, and it sort of took me back to the times when I was young and running around in the fields down at Cungy Way, which is west of Cessnock.
Uh-huh.
And, it just inspired me to write this song. And obviously the 70s influences came into it with, you'll hear those references throughout the song. Their song titles like Staying Alive and Country Roads.
Yep.
And things like Tuppa Tups.
Okay, yeah.
Things. They're all true stories. They're all true memories of me sort of like driving around with our family and actually sort of getting somewhere and mucking around in this field. And even the haunted house that I make reference to as a child, we used to just go and play around until dark. You remember the days where you weren't really in trouble until you got home after dark. You could do anything you wanted to. That's right. And just go around and play till the sun went down. And so, I actually wrote this song 10 years ago, and I had been to nursing homes singing it when I first started out with my performances. And a lot of the people were saying to me, this is a really good song, you need to do something with it. So it sat in the drawer, and I went through quite an intense songwriting stage when I got back from the Tamworth Music Festival in January this year. So I spent a good solid month going through what I had and readdressing it and coming up with some more material, but I just couldn't sort of go past this one because in this phase of writing, I was writing songs about themes that make you feel good, moments that feel like warm like the sun, and then the darker moments that you've got to find your way out of, and then those moments in life where decisions come at you at 100 mile an hour and they sort of collide, and you've got to make a decision really quick. And sometimes when we look back on those, we should have spent more time thinking about them. So all of these thoughts were going through my head at the time that I was going through this songwriting phase, and I thought, well, this Like a 70s Day really ties well into that, and I feel like it was a good release coming off the back of Too Many Sunsets as well.
Right.
Looking for a place where I belong in the theme of Too Many Sunsets, and just going back to my youth and finding that place in my heart where everyone's happy, back there in those innocent childhood days where we didn't have to think about the worries of the world. How good was it?
Yeah, I get it, yeah. I'm the same. I miss those days. One of my favourite sayings is that the 60s were so big they didn't finish until 1975. Yeah, and I strongly feel that's true. But look, that's neither here nor there. Now, this leads me to address your debut album, Summer Glare. What's the progress there? Can you give us an update?
Yeah, sure. Everything's sort of nearly ready to go. We're just finishing off on the mastering with it. But for now, I'm just building momentum with the singles releases that I have from it. And that's just sort of trying to gain attention toward the feel of my music. And hopefully when I do drop the album, people will be interested in the remainder of it, if not the whole content of it.
Sure.
So that's the plan. It'll be probably sometime next year now with the way things but yeah, just because I might do a sideways step, and you never know, I could have a Christmas song going at the moment. Don't know. Wait, watch this space for that one.
Absolutely, always a good idea to put out a Christmas song. Because they are popular at that time of year, aren't they? And we're coming to it. It's not that far off.
So there's a lot of diversity in my music, which I'm quite proud of. I don't know whether that's a wrong or a right thing, but I'm pretty sure it comes from all the influences that I've had as a child with my music, growing up in those 60s, 70s, 80s kind of music.
Right.
And, it all sort of mixes in, and I just feel like if I can be genuine enough about how I feel, I can turn that into country, because I feel like that's what country music's all about, just putting your heart out there and being yourself. And, yeah, it's working so far.
And if you're on a good thing, stick to it,
Yep, true.
So, that's a good idea. And I mean, so far you're on the right tram, as far as I'm concerned. Keep it up, and don't get off.
That's right. To think back on the days that I took my music to my producer Simon Johnson, like the very first day that I contacted him and reached out, I was so embarrassed because I had no idea whether my songs were up to scratch. Nobody had critiqued my lyrics.
Right.
I had no idea whether my songwriting was right or wrong, but I've since found out, there's never really any wrong or right way to write a song, as far as I'm concerned. But so long as you're using your mind and your heart, I think that's all it really requires. We can all sing, whether we choose to do that publicly or behind closed doors in the car.
Or in the shower.
I just feel like if there was more music in the world and less bad things going on, we could just take over with music and rule the world.
Wouldn't that be nice, eh?
That would.
But unfortunately Trump can't sing.
Only with AI help.
He needs all the help he can get. Oh dear. Anyway, now, sorry. Now, on a more serious note, I need to ask you, how's you had some surgery not long ago,
I did back in May, April, May.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So, I had a little bit of a rough trot with that. That took me off the grid for a month, and then there were more problems that came up. So basically 1 month turned into 3 months.
Okay.
But during that time, I had already laid all my vocals down because I was able to plan, thank goodness, before going into it. And so I was kind of able to work through the mastering and that side of things whilst I had all that downtime. And you know what? I was able to connect with a lot more radio too because not being at work, it gave me a little bit more time to look deeper into my music and make those connections.
Okay.
So I became fortunate in those ways. Yeah, but everything's fine with me. I've just sort of taken myself off the grid for singing for publicly for a little while with it. So It looks like Tamworth will be off the cards for me as far as spots up there, but I might go up there and have a day to myself and just really experience country music without all that, I won't say baggage, but all that responsibility or not worry, but I don't know what to call it. Music's not a task, but it is when you've got to keep your engagements up. So just to go up there and be enlightened without all of that, those commitments, that's the word I'm looking for, would be a nice experience. So yeah, I'm hoping to get up there for the day and see how that goes. That'll be nice.
It's I think it's important as an artist, to keep your face in the crowd, sort of thing, and keep the music coming. Because once you stop, even for a little time, I've noticed that people can sort of fall back a bit. The audiences forget about them; they move on to something else. You got to you got to keep your presence. You got to keep your presence up in this industry. To stay in it in the industry, because if you fall out of the industry for any time, getting back in is a really hard task.
Yeah, and I know where you're coming from that, because listening to music myself, I have different waves of what I listen to, and if it's not up the forefront, if it's not happening, then I guess I'm not going backwards, because there's just so much good music happening right now that, you don't tend to go backwards and look what has happened, unless you're having an 80s night or something like that. You know what I mean? We still love those good old songs, don't get me wrong, but particularly sort of songs that have come out in the last 3 years, unless it was in a playlist, you sort of wouldn't, I don't feel like you'd go looking for it more so than you would a new release. Do you feel the same?
I do, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
And like I said, like the music that's coming out nowadays, like I'm so surprised with how Like a 70s Day has gone in the airplay charts, because you've got the likes of Brendan McMahon and all those independent artists like Sally Jane and Hazel and the Thief with these beautiful songs that they're putting out there. It's just, we've got a wonderful wide range of choice. So
we do. And you've those artists that you mentioned, I've got them all in my playlist.
Nice.
Especially Brendan McMahon. I've got a lot of his stuff in my playlist, but so I can say with all honesty, Sandy, that your songs so far stand shoulder to shoulder with anything I've heard from those artists anyway.
Wow, that gives me goosebumps. Thank you so much. That's a lovely compliment. Thank you.
And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to compare one artist with another, and it's in many ways it's not fair.
It is. And I just think with my writing, it's just so simplistic. I don't go into too much deep thought about getting stuff right, But there are things you need to think about with repetition of words and that type of thing. But, I just feel like I don't know how everybody else is doing it, apart from when I go to songwriting courses, and we sort of all seem like we're in the same lane with what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're obviously doing it well to be up there, so.
Well, you're heading in that direction if you're not already there, Sandy, I've got to say.
Thanks. I'm excited about what's to come, so there'll be different flavours coming through. I just hope people will embrace them, and if they don't, well, you know what, when I put a song out there, I don't really think to myself, I want this to be a chart buster. I just think to myself, what are the reasons I've written this song for, I'd always go back to the feeling as to why I write a song and want to record it. That's what it's all about in the end.
Yes.
I put this song out for that reason, so that I can share what I enjoy with everyone else. Whether it makes it into a chart or what have you, then that's just a huge bonus. So
you can't please everyone all the time.
No, that's right.
That's a fact of life.
Mm.
And you can't get around it. Unfortunately, another fact of life, Sandy, is we're out of time. So
Out of time. We always do that.
I've got to sign off. Unfortunately, as much as I'm enjoying this conversation, I wish we could keep going with it. I'd love to do it all day.
It's all good.
But I have to sign off. So, look, thank you again for taking the time to have this chat with me on the radio. I do appreciate it. And again, I'm looking forward to the next one, which I hope won't be too far down the track.
Thanks. Yeah, I do have another release coming out on September 11, so jump onto the socials and follow that.
Absolutely. Always look forward to Sandy Summers' material coming out. Always, without fail.
Thanks, Harry T. I really appreciate your support, and that of Penny Valley FM 88.6. And I also need to thank Blue Shamrock Music too for getting my music out to the world.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
That's one of the things I love about this job, even though I'm a volunteer. I love talking to people like you and supporting them and listening to their music and getting it out there to the public so they can enjoy it as well.
You're doing a great job. Really.
As you are.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Sandy, and we'll talk to you again next time.
I'll be excited. Look forward to it. Have a great day to all the listeners and yourself, Harry T. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Bye for now.